About a month ago, Australia became the third country in the world behind South Korea and the US to switch on 5G. It's next generation wireless technology that's supposed to change our lives with theoretical speeds 200 times faster than the NBN.
Well, to find out if it will change your life, it's good morning to Image Matrix tech editor Djuro Sen. Djuro, my dear friend, how are you?
Tim, good to see you. Janie, good to see you.
Morning.
A lot of this is a different language to me, mate.
All these props.
Give us first off, what is 5G? And I sound like an idiot saying it, but like I'm not tech-minded.
No. Look, 5G is really hard to understand, but it is the next evolution, the next step when it comes to 4G technology. 5G is like probably the last thing we'll need because it is so much faster, but it's not just fast in terms of download speeds, it's that latency, so how long it takes from computer to talk to another computer. So, driving cars that, cars like autonomous vehicles, all that sort of stuff will talk to each other. So 5G is so fast, it means that we can download everything really quickly, and it means machines will basically take over a lot that we do. But it will start to change our lives, not for about a year or so, but it is a game changer in technology, there's no doubt about that.
Has it advanced too quickly to have it regulated?
Well, it hasn't really, because it's been around for a long time in terms of discussion of 5G. It was ratified late last year. Australia only the third in the world, and the great thing is that we're already active. You can't get it everywhere though, guys, so it's hard to get. But we have like 3 examples here.
So you need a new phone.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing. I'm old enough to remember when mobiles came out. We had the big things.
The
boom,
suitcase.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
the suitcase. Yeah, I had the ABC. Yeah. So that's the LG V50. Yeah. You can play with. So that's an interesting phone. That's got 2 screens on it. So you can either have your Facebook on one side and your work in the other side.
Double
selfie. So it's a pretty good phone.
So that's 5G.
That's 5G as well. The other one is the Samsung S10 5G. This is an amazing phone as well. It was the first launched in Australia on the 5G network. You can only get that through Telstra. It's an incredible screen.
It picks it up. We're coming in a little bit tighter there. It's just unbelievable.
Big phone too. You have big pockets, Tim, so I'm sure
you've got big legs.
That one. The other thing is there's some other Chinese brands that are really popular, and one of the most popular through the CanStar ratings for their service is Oppo. So it's not Oppo, it's Oppo, and this is an amazing camera, and I'm going to show you some of the details of these new phones, because it's not just about the 5G, they have to also add something. So the camera in that Samsung's much better than the normal S10, and also in this Oppo, the camera here is amazing. So if I turn it on and put it on selfie mode, watch the top of it. It goes up, goes down. So the camera, for the selfie camera, is just there. So you just press that selfie button, and what that is, they call that the shark fin. So what Oppo are doing is trying to give you more screen real estate.
So you don't need filters?
Yeah, well.
It's got the slimming lens on it.
Yeah, and I might just show you some vision here of what this can do. So some people are calling these new phones like spy cameras, and this thing is absolutely amazing. It's got a wide shot, and then it's got an amazing... I took this yesterday down at Botany, wide shot 2 times, then it goes to 6 times, and look, it goes to 10 times, and I go to 60 times digital zoom, and you can see it's a little bit pixelated, but you certainly can see. Look how far away that is now. This is amazing. Now that technology is in a mobile phone.
What are we looking at?
You should get some good discounts from Costco next week, by the way.
So what are we looking at in terms of price?
So this one is the best deal. It's $14.99. The LG's about $1,700, and with the plan on the Samsung, that's going to be about $2,000 over the period of time that you get the plan done, but you do have to have a plan on top of that.
So a lot of people are worried that 5G will cause cancer. Is it safe?
There is a lot of talk online, and if you look up 5G, you will find a heap of discussion groups that are anti-5G. And a lot of these groups have been anti sort of mobile phone coverage overall. So, look, The science says that there is no evidence to say that is detrimental to our health, but that doesn't rule out the possibility that something could be happening. But there's been a lot of research, and Tim, I spoke to the Telstra CEO, Andy Penn, about it, and this is what he had to say.
There's extensive testing, as I say, this isn't a completely new technology. I mean, and of course, mobile phones are not the only things that actually emit radio waves. I mean, there's lots of things around us that emit radio waves. And so the science in the impact of radio waves on the community and on individuals is very, very deep. And as I say, there's organisations both locally and internationally which are doing scientific research on this all of the time.
It's still early days, isn't it? But we are told a lot of times to have it hands-free and to keep it a metre away when you're sleeping at night. Yeah,
I think it's probably wise to be cautious about it, but just simply, it's part of the electromagnetic spectrum. So people are worried because 5G is higher energy, really high intensity wavelength. So how can I describe this? We have low, long radio waves, frequency that's lower at this end of the table. Say it's this end of the table. I'm at the low end. You're visible light. And, Janie, you're up there with gamma rays, all the nasty stuff. All right, so if 5G is sitting on this spectrum, it'll be about here. So it's well short of visible light, and just over your shoulder would the ultraviolet light, all the nasty radiation, which is called ionising radiation. That's the stuff that can really damage your DNA. But the stuff down here is miles away from that. So 5G is included in that, even though it's a higher frequency. People are sort of freaking out about the higher frequency, but there's been a lot of research on it. I was at a Motorola factory the other day, and they were testing on a fluid that they simulated as human flesh, as using radios to see if there was any impact on the signal. And they did lots and lots of tests. So at this stage, there's no evidence, but, I guess you can...
As technology rolls along, these issues, they walk side by side as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Now, Samsung's in trouble with the ACCC over waterproof marketing. What's going on there?
So have you seen how all the phones, like this one on the desk here, is in water? This is the Note 9. It's one of my favourite phone from last year, and I use it as an underwater camera. And what's happened is the ACCC is taking Samsung to court because it believes in its marketing it hasn't been truthful in the fact that the phones can actually be used at the beach, all that sort of stuff. And, we can see by some of the imagery that Samsung has done that, it has been portrayed as a fun phone. And you're in Australia and you want to have fun at the beach, that sort of stuff. Well, this is some of the marketing stuff we're looking at. Now, this is just describing it, what you can do on the water, but the actual campaign that Samsung is running that the ACCC has a problem with, as you can see down here, is look, there's a dude underneath the water. So, that sort of gives you an idea that you can use it. Now, they're saying that there have been some people who've had issues with their phones and they're not getting taken care of with warranty. Samsung have spoken to me and said that they're going to fight this in court, but...
Anecdotally, how does it go for you when you go to the beach and swim in there?
I'll tell you what, here's a tip for you. So I've shot a lot of stuff with this phone in the water at the beach, at Maroubra, at Fiji. Now, the key is, if you do that, bring it home and give it a wash. Rinse off the salt water, anything like that, and make sure it dries out. Now, it won't let you recharge it while it's got a little bit of moisture in it. You can charge it wirelessly, but you're sort of taking a risk with it. However, it's like anything. You go to the salt water, just give it a good clean water spray, and you're right. I've had this for a year and a half. So
Tell you what, it's the sand as well that gets into it.
Yeah. It's all that sort of stuff. But, you can, as long as you wash it, you're okay.
All right, you've got some great props here. I recognise a few of those. All
right, so what did you listen to in 1979?
1979, was it one of the Ripper albums, or I was probably still listening to Jerry Rafferty, and I love Jerry Rafferty. Yeah.
I don't know, on a record or a cassette?
It was probably a combination of both, I would have thought. Look, I actually did a story recently with some kids with Walkmans, and they did not know what they were.
All right, I'm going to give you one of these.
Yeah.
So you've got to put a glove on. So this has been given to Sony. It is, this week, the 40th anniversary of the Walkman.
It's hard to believe.
1979, July 1979. Of course, we know July is the moon landing. I'm excited about it too, mate. Could talk to you about it all day. But this was...
Michael Jackson.
All right, I'm going to pass this on. So Sony have given me... This is in the Guardians of the Galaxy. It starts off with a scene. So it is an amazing piece of technology. Before this, you really couldn't walk around with a portable music player in the 60s and 70s. You had radios and stuff, but not your personal stuff. On the top there, you can see, if you hold that forward, Janie, to the camera and spin it around a little bit, there are 2 headphone jacks.
That's it.
So you could listen with your partner. And that orange button was used to, if you pressed it, you could then talk into the microphone and you could talk to each other about the track or listen to what's going on. And that was around about $200 back in the day.
So what's it worth now?
I looked one up on eBay and got about $450 out of Japan. So, and you got and since Guardians of the Galaxy, these things are going off.
And why the gloves? Why the Jackson? I mean, 1979. I'm trying to think of what he had. It was before Off the Wall and all that kind of thing. But why the gloves? Is it just a bit of?
Well, because they just don't want any grubby fingers over it. But keep them on, keep them on.
Remember they take the cassettes and the tape would come out and you have to get your pen and wind it all
This
around.
is one of the latest. Well, you don't have to do that anymore.
No, exactly.
That's one of the latest Walkmans. So this is high resolution audio. So these things can go up to like $4,000 when they're gold plated, and they're amazing devices. But you have to have really high-end professional headphones to do that. So for 40 years, we've gone from that to that. Remember that? That was 1984.
Yes.
I'm going to show you on the desk here. That is the Sony Discman.
Yeah, beautiful.
Look at that.
And what about this speaker you got over here? What's going on there?
All right. So that, you can handle this one without a glove. Although you look pretty good with that. You've got to keep that on.
ABC.
So the thing is, when you look at that, you think, is that a lamp? It's more than a lamp.
I thought you were like a scientist. When you thought, so it's got a test tube kind of...
That's it. Oh, no.
You recognise that?
Pink Floyd.
Bit of Pink Floyd.
Ah, yes, Janie. Yes, so,
takes me back to Hits of Memories 2GN, the round mound of sound.
So for around about $700, available this month, that is a Sony glass speaker.
Sony
Glass sound speaker, and not only is it light, but actuators in the bottom force the sound up, and it's the glass making the sound.
Do me a favour, pump the music up.
You want to?
Let's take a bit of Pink Floyd to break. This is Sky News, Sunday edition. Get it.
Dance move.
We'll see you real soon. This is... thank you, Djuro.
Thanks, mate.